Well, it's episode 300, everyone. Welcome to Aussie Tech Heads Thursday, the 26th of July, episode 300. We'll call it a birthday episode for the hell of it. Why not? Why not? It's 300 episodes. 6 years, so going into the 7th year, pretty much. And it's a long time, every week, sitting down here every week, doing a podcast, doing what we love. And here's Will. Hey, Will, how you going?
Evening, how are we?
Yeah, not too bad. I was just going through a few shows through the week, obviously, and I've noted a couple of things down. You know, just when you guys started and all that. I put together a little what would you call it? A montage of audio, I suppose, or a little snippet of over the last couple of years. And we're going to put that.
I pretty much started on like 198 or something, didn't I? So I'm a newcomer as far as these things go.
Yes, I have got you down as 198. You're exactly right. Exactly right.
Wasn't a bad guess.
No. So we've got Eric will be in late tonight if he makes it at all. He's busy with work as usual at this time of year. But I got here his first episode was 228. So so you guys have been around for a while now. Will, 198. Must be nearly 2 years. Well done.
Yeah, be going there. That's 3 hours an episode. 50 episodes a year. That's
That's right. That's
300
right.
hours, pretty much.
So yes, that's well, I was going to say we've come a long way, but since we started in September 2006, but audio-wise, you wouldn't think so, would you? Audio problems
tonight, no.
Still plague us, but anyway, it's going good tonight. So let's see how we go. So
although the internet, but the only thing that's changed is the internet's got faster.
The internet has got faster.
Mostly.
Yes. Well, I remember when we first started, it was just audio only. Wasn't even on Skype. Mark used to come around and we used to do it face to face. Things just weren't happening. I think my cable speed was, upload was about 128k up. I think it was. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But anyway, we're all sorted now with 2.5 meg up, so that's good.
Show off.
Yeah, well, you got the same. How's yours going anyway? You'd have the same.
Mine is horrible at the moment. The last couple of weeks, I've been getting about 600 up.
600, yeah, right. I actually had a problem through the week as well. I jumped on to do an episode of The Den with Mark through the week, and wouldn't you know, as soon as we jumped on, my internet actually just fell apart and couldn't connect to anything. It just went down. The whole thing went down. So
see, it's all the government agencies logging on to listen to you. Possibly.
That's what Mark said. That's what he said. So, possibly. But, but what happened was I rang Telstra because the whole thing had died. There was nothing going on. So, and the fix, because I turned everything off, reset everything, blah, 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 and nothing seemed to work. So what had happened... Well, what the fix was, we actually had to take the cable lead out of the back of the modem, the one you screw in, took that out, put that back in, and then that came back up. Don't ask me how that works, but that's what I did. So go and try that, anyone. Maybe, and look, the net's been going pretty good, so maybe it sort of resets something else as well, like, I don't know. But anyway.
But isn't that the same as unplugging your modem?
Well, because it's cable, must be there's some sort of charge still going through it.
There is constant power going to the cable, so yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so give that a shot, Will. Give that a shot. Now, usual intro. Where are my usual intros? I've got it written down here somewhere. I've got to tell everyone what's going on because people need to know. People need to know what they can do because we come in different varieties, different sizes, different shapes.
We're in different flavours for your convenience.
That's right. And one of the flavours, and we must welcome the lounge, of course. Sorry, very remiss of me, lounge. Welcome to the lounge who come in every Thursday night just to watch us record live. Welcome and have some fun. Also, you can join the lounge if you like, live.thesecrethub.com. Every Thursday night. The Skype, you can Skype in and have a chat to us if you wish. Skype call handle is Aussie Tech Heads. You'll have to just obviously do it throughout the week or something just to make the contact so I can approve you to jump in. I don't know if it comes up automatically or not. I think I tried to set it like that, so maybe it does. You can do the podcast, obviously, on iTunes, where most of you guys are probably listening to us right now. The pre-recorded video is live. No, it's not. It's video.aussietechheads.com. and also the paper.aussietechheads.com.au, and Will, the radio.aussietechheads.com.au. I think there's a couple of things up there. I put up last week's Aussie Tech Heads. So that should be...
Yeah, we're not getting too carried away for the first few weeks because we want to make sure it's actually going to
work. That's right. So yeah, so that's going good. And also every week we also replay before the show at around about 7 o'clock. Depends on how long their episode goes for. But it's techwebcast.info with Brad and the gang, and they're approaching 200 episodes also. So well done to you boys as well. It's a great effort. Good to see. And anyone else who does have a podcast or a video cast, whatever you want to vlog cast, whatever you want to call it, if you guys are out there, you want us to let's get you on before the show as well. We'll queue you up. But if you want to start a podcast, give me a ring or give me an email, a video cast, give us an email, or if you've already got one, let us know who you are and we can slot you into the radio and let you play 24/7 as well with anything else. So let's start growing this thing, eh? Let's start making Aussie podcasts and stuff happen. All right.
And just in case you are thinking about starting a podcast or any sort of website at all, we can help you with that as well.
We can. Good on you, Will.
You don't know how, but we can.
Nah, look, you want something done and you got a good idea, you just give me an email and I'll soon tell you what the go is. But yeah, look, if you want to host a web page, we also offer hosting.aussietechheads.com.au. Cheap plans at the moment. It's all been slashed. Prices have been slashed for the introductory period. So
it's so cheap we're losing money.
That's exactly right.
That's actually not far off the truth.
So jump on there and get some good hosting deals while they last. Also register your domain name. So hosting.aussietechheads.com.au. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, we better get in with some news.
Well, I was just going to quickly ask you before we get carried away with that. You had the opportunity to go to Cinex last night.
I did. I went.
For those who don't know, Cinex is basically a geek fest, as all my friends call it.
Yeah, it's probably it's just for like the resellers and all that sort of stuff. It's just the vendors showcase their products. Microsoft, Epson, Brother, Eaton, ARN, just a whole heap of them. You know what it's like.
Yeah, it's great because you get to see what's going on before it actually happens a lot of the time.
Yeah, so that was good. It was good. No, it was a bit smaller than last year, I think, Will. A little bit
because it was too early, see? Nobody was there.
Yeah, you could be right. Could be right. Okay, someone's saying Skype's not on. Someone's trying to ring. Skype's not on. Yes, it is. You might have the old Skype handle. It is now Aussie Tech Heads with an S. So I'd say whoever that is, PA, you might have the old Skype handle because we changed it. We had to add the S onto it. All right, now let's yeah. So Cinex was good. There's not much going on. Oh, and now I think Will's just jumped out. Great Thursdays. Sorry, our server's have encountered an error. Please try again. Fatal server response from the Hangout. Oh my goodness me. We better try again, eh? See if we can get him back. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right. So while we're doing that, well, this is riveting. So he's going to come back and just wait, and we're going to edit this bit out. Yes, okay. Well, we finished talking about that about 10 minutes ago because the Hangout went down. It's gone down for everyone apparently. So everyone in the lounge can't getting on a Hangout either. So anyway, let's move on. Onwards and upwards. We can do things without Google. We've gone back to Skype. So whoopee-doo. Sound check, Will. How's that going?
It's good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start some stories. Let's get this show on the road, for goodness sakes. Just a little quick one that I saw. Optus is to buy Eatability, $6 million. Don't even know what Eatability is. You ever heard of it, Will?
As far as I know, it's like a Foursquare for restaurants.
Yeah, something like that. I've never heard of it. Strange, curious thing is that apparently the acquisition is pending and subject to review by the Foreign Investment Review Board. What the hell's that got to do with that?
Hey?
Yeah, I know.
Must be a foreign company then.
Well, Optus is. You know, like Singtel. But,
that's what I mean. So,
but I thought you could only if you know, with newspapers, you can buy only buy so much percentage of the whole market. But they're in telephones now. They're going into a web page. I didn't think there was any.
Yeah, but see, I guess you have to figure out how many Australian restaurant directories there are.
What is it? So who cares? But anyway, that's what's going on. That was just
probably Yellow Pages. Telstra's probably getting upset because there's another lack of use for the Yellow Pages.
Anyway, that's that. I didn't really care. Now, probably more important stories for people is Apple ships OS X Mountain Lion. That's already gone out through the download store. Mac OS X 10.8 has been released. Now it's a 4 gig download, and according to internet analytics company Net Applications, 84% of the in-use Macs run either Lion or Snow Leopard. So that's a pretty high percentage of up-to-date machines out there, higher than Windows XP and versus Windows 7 machines. So Apple has begun taking requests for a free copy of the Mountain Lion from customers who have purchased a new Mac on or after June 11. So if you've purchased a new Mac on or after June 11, get down to your Apple Store and you'll be able to get a voucher or code or whatever to get a free upgrade. So to obtain the code necessary, there is a form and there's a link on the web page for you to fill a form out. Now, look, yep.
I was going to say, there's a couple of things with it, though. Some of the people in the know are saying don't upgrade yet. There's a compatibility program you can run because apparently there is quite a few business productivity programs that don't actually work with it at the moment.
Right.
So if you're using it, certain video editing programs, photo editing programs, audio editing programs, accounting software, there's a fair amount of those that don't work at the moment.
But they'll all be updated probably.
They will
post haste.
It's just one of those things. You just have to be a little bit wary of it.
Now the update apparently takes from around about averaging 13 to 57 minutes, depending on what Mac you're putting it on. Now these times are averaged from a number of machines that have had no or very little use. So they're pretty vanilla machines from the store. So no internet downloads and the accumulated crap that you normally would get over periods of time. So the Mountain Lion update costs $19.99 and can be installed, as we said, on most Macs. The new Retina MacBook Pro was the best and fastest to update when the new MacBook Air models, the new MacBook Air was close behind. The Retina MacBook Pro, the 15-inch notebook with a high-resolution screen that Apple unveiled last month, completed the Mountain Lion upgrade in just 13 minutes, while the 11-inch and 13-inch MacBook Air needed 17 minutes. So if you've got an older machine with a non-SSD, I'd say it's going to take a little bit longer. But anyway.
And also, too, you can go to roaringapps.com, roaringapps.com, thanks to Frosty in the chat room. And that's got the list of compatibility apps that are compatible and aren't compatible. So that will take some of the guesswork out for you.
Oh, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Look, there is a list also in the show notes. The show notes obviously are always at aussietechheads.com.au. But there also is a list of the benefits to upgrade to the new version. Most of the benefits, I don't know. It seems to be just all synchronization. For me, the biggest benefit is just the synchronization between all the devices as well. You do a document on the Mac, it's all then it's on the iPad, it's on your iPhone. It all lives in the cloud. So
even programs you use regularly, I was just quickly flicking through them. Adobe Photoshop Elements, which is quite a common program, doesn't work correctly. But also, too, news has just got out that there's a new Trojan that automatically installs itself on OS X on Mountain Lion and Leopard.
Okay. Yeah, right.
It doesn't require a password. It slides in the back door, and it's a Trojan, and it silently dials back to the server every so often. And
to what, Apple server?
To the Trojan server.
So how did this get into the Apple update?
This article doesn't go into depth on how you can get it. It does, however, mention that you can pay for one of the virus scanners they're mentioning. I'm sure there are free virus scanners for Mac, the same as there are for Windows. And yes, you do need a virus scanner. You do need to have one installed because you can catch viruses.
Yeah.
And particularly now that they're becoming more commonplace, the main reason Macs weren't really susceptible is because there really wasn't the population out there, and that wasn't worth the coders writing viruses for it. But now that it's becoming more and more popular, it's starting to become more of a target. So you do need to
have a virus scanner. Well, I don't have one on mine. Mine goes back pretty good. But no, that doesn't mean anything.
But you don't use it as a regular everyday system, though.
No, probably not. Only gets no, not really. No, it does get more use at the moment because it's the window to the hosting servers in Sydney. But but that's pretty much all. I'm not browsing around or doing anything like that.
That's right.
Yeah. Google Maps add New South Wales public transportation directions. So that's pretty handy. Google Maps will calculate the best non-driving route to get from point A to point B, whether by train, bus, ferry, light rail, or monorail. I thought they were taking that down. Directions include the best walking route, monorail. Why would that ever be the best?
All three stations of it, because that's really hard to figure out.
Directions include the best walking route to each stop. Public transportation directions can also be accessed through the Google Maps mobile app, blah, blah, blah. The addition arrives 2 weeks after Google added cycling directions. Oh, I'm glad they did that.
You know why they've had to do that? Because people are using Google Maps on their smartphone. They're walking down the footpath, and all of a sudden it says cross 7 lanes of traffic to get to the other side of the road. People do, and they get run over. And that's why Google basically, they've done it in the States a while back. They're basically forced now. I mean, they probably would have done it anyway, but they pretty much have to now. It's because people are following the GPS literally.
Knobs. Anyway, local and tourists alike using New South Wales' hundreds of train, ferry and bus lines to the tune of over 500 million times a year. So Google wrote on their blog. Now, I think like the bicycle routes have probably been added because didn't Sydney, didn't the mayor introduce some sort of ride to work scheme or ride bicycle hire for free?
It's the same up in Melbourne. They've had them for quite a years actually. The same as they have in Brisbane now. Dedicated bicycle lanes, which duckweave and sidestep through little, laneways and stuff. So if you didn't actually know where you were going, it was very easy to become lost. So that's part of the reason they've introduced that.
All right, now we've got another one. We're moving quick through them because time just flies, doesn't it, Will? So
because we broke the internet tonight, yeah.
That's right. So we're gonna move quick before the Skype fails. Oh, we shouldn't say that. Microsoft, they're good.
That's it.
Skype
I'm going to have to come and visit, aren't
I? Australian government websites taken offline by Anonymous. Oh, they've struck again. Anonymous have claimed credit for taking down 10 Queensland government websites, including sunshinecoast.queensland.gov.au, regions.queensland.gov.au. They're all .gov.au's. Like, that's, I don't know, that'd be pretty hard to jam into the .gov.au.
That'll be a central server. That'll be why.
Yeah, but still. But so they, jammed the websites earlier in the week. Now, I did have a...
Yeah, but Anonymous also breached AAPT and stole 40 gig of customer data from them as well.
That's right. They did too. So, look,
Anonymous are going off this week.
They are. They're not happy, are they? Apparently, what started this is one of the proposals includes tailored data retention periods for up to 2 years. So this is what they're upset about, that especially the Queensland government is going to legislate to retain, the ISPs to retain your web history data, everything you do on the internet for up to 2 years. And look, initially, I don't suppose I've got an issue with it, but I mean, I suppose then on the other hand, why? But
it's anonymized. That word, isn't it?
Yeah, anonymized. But I don't know. Why bother keeping it if it's anonymized?
Same reason Google keeps everything.
No, I don't think so.
That's all statistical data.
The government's not into
statistics,
advertising, internet advertising and internet trends. They're into, they're supposed to be in the government in the joint. But yeah, I don't see why. Like, I don't probably have an issue really, but why?
I would have to imagine that they've probably been doing it anyway, and they finally figured it's about time they should tell people.
Look,
to be honest, if they make that sort of announcement, it means they've already got the infrastructure in place and they've already tested it. So,
if I was asked if I wanted it or not, I'd say no. Yes,
but you won't be asked. You'll be told that you want it because it's the best thing for you.
But I'm just conveying where I'm sitting.
Have it, damn it.
So anyway, as Will said, AAPT have confirmed a security breach of business customer data stolen from servers stored at Melbourne IT by hackers associated with Anonymous. The hackers yesterday announced they had stolen 40 gig of data from Melbourne IT in protest against the local laws again. So they're not happy about these data retention laws. The ISP said the servers storing the files had not been connected to the AAPT for more than a year, which makes you wonder, why the hell do they keep all this crap?
Here we go. The details supposedly contained for the government planning documents is everything from, where is it? Family, friends, enemies, sexual history.
What?
Where you've worked.
Yeah, see, that's not anonymised. That's rubbish. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, look, they shouldn't do it. So, but it makes you think, like, do you think the reason that Anonymous is there, like, they're obviously smart little cookies, aren't they, that can get in
absolutely.
And bring all this systems
They're basically
down.
saying, hey, look, you want to store data? Fine. Make it secure because this isn't secure. Look.
This is what we can do to it. That's right.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's a bit of, like the internet was built, it wasn't owned by anyone. And so with all the governments and that are trying to store this and store that, and Google storing this and storing that, they're trying to own it.
You can store it. Storing it's one thing, but trying to restrict access to it and trying to claim that you have rights over it. The reason the internet was developed was as a non-centralized information system, and no, it wasn't developed for porn. That didn't happen till 6 months after it was turned on. But it was basically designed to not be secure in the respect that we think about it. It's incredibly staggered. It's designed to be robust. It's designed to not go down. It's not designed to be, locked up and turned into a secure facility. It won't work like that. The internet can't handle that sort of transition. So if it's going to go that way, effectively the internet has to be scrapped and rebuilt, really, into a completely different system because it just won't work.
Yeah, I think the government, for whatever reason, they just get a bit paranoid about it. I
mean, could you imagine searching, say they do store it and it's semi-anonymized, but you know what to search for so you can access some of your own records. Could you imagine searching for your name and having 2 years worth of data to, in terms of information and searchability, how much bandwidth and how much data that would consume? As PA said in the chat room, the amount of storage space you would need, even if you're just storing raw text, is absolutely ludicrous.
So maybe the story is not entirely correct, what the legislation's supposed to do. But I'm sure more will come out of it as time goes on. As time goes on,
no doubt.
But on the other hand, and on a higher good note, Australia cuts down on spam. We're not pumping out as much spam anymore.
Well, that's good because we just topped the scales for piracy. So
good. Okay. We've put our talents to something
it all balances
else.
out.
That's right. Australia accounted for 0.26% of global spam in the second quarter. So that's not very much. And making it the 52nd in the world. The report revealed this is an improvement over September 2010 when Australia accounted for 1% of all spam. India produced the most spam of any country with 11.4%.
I thought it was like those Bangladeshi princes or whatever they are.
No, who knows? But yeah, so India's got 11.4% of the spam, pumps out 11.4%, despite only being accounting for 5.3% of the world's internet population.
But apparently in the areas that do have technology, I was speaking to a friend who went over there, and he said the connectivity you have in that place is amazing. Everything from, they've got free Wi-Fi hotspots all over the place, and, it's fully, it's an incredibly connected society.
Yeah. So India, it's up and coming, isn't it? So the USA, once the top spam producer, is now the second place.
You know why? It's our spam count's so low. It's because our internet's so damn expensive. Nobody can afford to do it.
Probably, but we've got pretty tight controls, haven't we? Like pretty big fines. I'm not sure if India probably doesn't have anything.
I mean, the other countries do if they spam us, but they're all anonymised. You're never going to find out who it is.
Yeah, but why not?
And I mean, how many of those Indian servers are spoofed? I mean, they might say, there's 16% or whatever it is coming from India, but that's just where the IP address is coming from. That doesn't mean they're not coming from Taiwan being spoofed through a fake IP through India.
Yeah, true. Yeah, who knows what goes on. I just don't like it. I'm glad that my Gmail pumped it all out to the spam box. I hardly get any.
Oh, it does. I have to admit, that's one thing Gmail does really well. And it very rarely gives fake, incorrect spam either.
Yeah. Look, sometimes I have to occasionally I will go through the spam just to see, what's going on. And yeah, you do have to pull a couple out, but they're not really important ones. Just ones, probably emails that, you're one of, say, 1,000 recipients or something. They've probably decided that's spam.
Yeah.
But, so in the air now, Qantas customers will be able to access flight entertainment on iPads on the B767 flights. Qantas will partner with Panasonic to use its EXW solution for queue streaming, which will provide on-demand in-flight entertainment content in business class and economy. What happened to first class? Is there still first class, or is it just business class?
Yeah, but first class has probably had it for 5 years.
Yeah, probably. And the good news is the service will be free. The first B767 aircraft will be fitted with the iPads in the fourth quarter of this year and will primarily operate on the East Coast and Perth routes.
Now, I've got somewhere a story I mentioned. I remember talking about it months ago. They were beta testing the iPads, and because you can't take certain icons off the desktop and stuff, what they did was they just created a folder down the bottom that said "Do not open."
Right.
And it's got all the normal folders, like your system settings and everything like that, you can't normally take off. So I'll be curious to see how they've got around that by now.
Yeah, do not open. That'd work, wouldn't it? Or why didn't they just put it down in the corner of the screen and just put a sticker on the screen? Or paint it black.
Yeah, just put a sticker over the bottom of the screen, 1/2 an inch wide. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only two seats in a plane that I don't want to have the iPads is obviously up in the cockpit.
We know what happens when they do that. Remember that story from a few months ago?
No, what happened?
The pilots were using the iPad app, the weather iPad app, to get instant updates on the weather because they couldn't get it from the tower, and they ended up crash landing because they overshot the runway because they were too busy trying to use the iPad.
Great. Great. Yeah, so we don't want them up there. Now, iOS 6 ditches passwords for free app downloads. Apple will modify the security rules for app downloads in iOS 6, ditching the requirement to enter passwords for free app download and update. That's, I don't know if I 100% agree with that. Probably 70% agree with it.
I mean, it's been working for Android for a few years, so I guess...
Yeah, I suppose. I just know that, I lend my iPad to the kids and stuff, and I'd rather it not be filled up with rubbish. They should let you toggle on or off if you want that. They should make it an option. The paid applications still require a password. The new feature was revealed as part of Apple's iOS 6 Beta 3, released to Apple developers last week. iOS 6 is expected to launch later this year, around the same time as the new iPhone. Whoa! I
think probably what they should do, given that it's loosely based on Linux anyway, is just create a main account and a guest account. So if you do lend it to somebody, you can turn on or off all the features, because you can do that on Android. You can use a guest program or a guest app that turns the device into, basically, it locks it down. So
yeah.
I think something like that would be perfect because, as you say, it's a device that anybody can pick up and use. You can give it to your kids, you can give it to your grandma, or whatever. So you know, you don't want your grandma clicking on Skyfire only to find out that the last page you're looking at was, you know.
Yeah. Porn tube.
Yeah, that's it. So I think something like that would probably... I can see them implementing something like that, whether or not they do. But to me, it feels like it's something they should.
Now, I don't know if you received SMSs through the week, Will, but apparently hundreds of Australians received SMS death threats. So,
I heard about this. I mean, it made the news, so...
yeah, well, it's a death threat. Hundreds of people got it. Someone's found out a way of sending cheap or free SMSs, because otherwise... why would you do it? Hundreds of Australians have received death threats by SMS from a scammer who threatened to kill the recipients unless they paid a $5,000 ransom. So there you go. The death threat, which came through on the SMS, read, "Someone paid me to kill you. Get spared 48 hours to pay $5,000. If you inform the police or anybody, death is promised. Email me now, killerking247@yahoo.com. There you go. If you get one of those, just delete it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rubbish.
I really don't think it would have taken that long for the feds to be on top of that email address.
Do you reckon it wouldn't even be real?
Well, even if it was, I mean, the traffic they're going to be monitoring.
Now, Vodafone is finally going to kill off 3 in next month. Vodafone Hutchinson is on track to migrate remaining 3 mobile customers across...
They've only got 4 customers left.
And you're not one of them.
No.
Good. What else? Windows Phone 8 release date revealed. Windows Phone 8 smartphones could be in hot little hands in November. There you go. According Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8 launch October 26. So, look, I had a look at the Windows 8 on a touchpad last night. It was on I forget what it was, an Acer or something. The pad was quite heavy. I don't know if I'd like to use that particular one. But yeah, look, the Windows 8 seemed to work okay on it. I didn't mind it. That was okay. I'd probably like to get one when it came out.
Yeah, I heard a couple of people about that. Apparently, they were relatively impressed with it, given that, you know, previous Windows incarnations have been more or less unusable.
And look, I've played a bit more with the Windows 8 on my laptop here, because like one of the main things that strikes you straight away is there's no start button. So if you want to go to the control panel, for instance, say you wanted to create a user account, how? There's no you know, start button, control panel user accounts. There's none of that.
Control Shift Escape, I think.
Well, the good thing is it's just pretty much like a Mac, actually. Like if you don't know where anything is and how to navigate to it, well, you just search for it. You just start typing in, say, user account, and it'll come up on the screen, and you click on it. And
I have to admit, I've actually found myself doing that in normal Windows quite often.
Yeah, I do it for programs.
You just, as soon as you hit the start button, it pops up. So
that's right.
I guess if you're sort of doing that anyway, it's not too bad.
That's the only thing that I could probably pick on at the moment. Look, why they took it away, I've got no idea. I didn't think it would matter if they left it there or not. It's just one of those things. But it's gone, so we've got to get used to it. And look, everyone cried about the ribbon in Office, the Office ribbon when it came out. We've all settled down. We've all got over it. So we'll be right. We'll live on. We won't die.
That's it.
And while speaking of Microsoft, they've written down their Microsoft Post first ever loss. Nasty.
Really? I missed that one.
A massive write-down in the value of a quantitative advertising network and slowing sales of PCs running Windows has contributed to Microsoft reporting its first ever loss in its 26-year history on the stock exchange.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty big.
And yet, Korea Electronics is currently the world's top-selling smartphone maker and just sold 10 million units of their newest Galaxy S3 since its launch 2 months ago, and they just recorded an operating profit this month of $5.7 billion.
Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? Didn't I read somewhere that Apple's profit was down a bit this quarter to something?
Well, they say here that the Samsung shipped 44.5 million smartphones in the first quarter, and Apple only shipped 35 million. So Samsung shipped 9 million more devices than Apple.
Yeah, well, they were saying that Apple's profit was disappointing because it was down to 6.6 million or billion or something. So, very disappointing.
Yeah, it's horribly disappointing.
And Microsoft lost $492 million during the June quarter. So that's only $500 million. That's all right. They got heaps. As opposed to a profit of $5.87 billion a year ago. Well, that's a big turnaround. So a year ago...
Yeah, well, that's $6 billion loss, isn't it?
A year ago, they made a profit $5.8 billion.
Well,
and
they lose
today,
$500,000, so...
They've lost $500 million.
They've lost a bit over $5 billion in 12 months.
Yeah, Microsoft shares rose, although 2.14% to $31.32. That's just...
They're still down on what they used to be, though.
But remember, they used to be 100 and something.
Oh, easy, yeah.
And Apple's, 300 and something, aren't they? Or 400 and something. Apple's gone crazy.
Yeah.
So, so anyway, Microsoft...
To hear the international... International Fair Trading Court or something. I can't remember. I've been trying to find the story for the last 10 minutes and I can't. But basically, they've told Apple to pull their head in, stop suing everyone because they're getting annoyed. Yeah. And they're going to...
who isn't?
They're basically going to, start, charging Apple for all these lawsuits they're creating.
So who was this? Who was this that was doing it?
I can't remember. I'm trying to find the story. It was something like the International... something like Supreme Court or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, so they should, because there's lawsuits every single day of the week. They got so much money, they can just do this sort of thing.
Yeah, and basically this international governing body, said, "Look, stop it."
Yes, I don't blame them.
We've had enough. We're sick of it. Go away.
Now, here's another one out of the UK here. Scenes of violence and destruction were inappropriate for young children, and this has caused the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 advertisements during daytime TV get banned. So,
really?
Yeah, so I think that's probably a fair call.
Kids at home during the day anyway. They should be at school.
They include buildings exploding and catching fire, armed men firing at a lorry until it crashes, and a helicopter firing rockets. 2 viewers complained. That's an outrage that the advert should not be on during the day. So they got their way. 2 viewers. It's probably a fair thing. Oh, yeah, but it's probably a fair thing. But, geez, 2? Jeez. One of them said that they're...
Maybe 2% of viewers, but not 2 viewers.
It said 2. I'll show you. Where's my link? It is there. I'll come...
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, if 2% of viewers complained, maybe, but not 2 viewers,
well, it's not like the BBC to make a mistake, is it?
Is it BBC 1 or BBC 2 or BBC 3 or BBC 4 or whatever they're up to now?
But anyway, one of them said that their children aged between 2 and 4 were frightened. The action in the advert set in New York, London and Paris is accompanied by a voiceover saying, "The world as you knew it is gone. How far will you go to bring it back?"
Did they consider, I don't know, taking their kid outside and walking them down the street?
No, wasn't a consideration. It was raining, as usual. The game broke records on its launch in November with more than 6.5 million copies sold in the UK and in the US in its first 24 hours of release. So there you go.
Yeah.
And, all right, satellite turns 50. It is 50 years since the first public satellite television images were beamed across the Atlantic from the United States to Britain and mainland Europe. 50 years. Audio snippet is available on the webpage there. That's in the show notes. But it is of an audio snippet of Ian Logie Baird, grandson of John Logie Baird, who apparently is the curator of broadcast culture at the National Media Museum in the UK. And 50 years since the first satellite. I remember in the 70s, you'd be all the shows would be doing their satellite hookups or whatever, and they're going, quick, we've got it at like 8 o'clock, we've only got it for 5 minutes, we've got to get it all sorted, and then the satellite would drop out. Like, they must have been allotted strict 5-minute blocks of time or whatever time they could buy, and it was very expensive. Not like today, not like the internet of today.
I remember when Hey Hey It's Saturday had their final show. It was supposed to be a 3-hour show, and they ran into like 4 hours or whatever it was. Apparently, that cost, what was it, Channel 9 back then? Something like $5 million in satellite time
Yeah, right.
because it
Wow.
ran in like an extra hour.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. So all right. So now we're gonna have Garth. We've pulled Garth out from the hard drive and we found him. And let's have a look. Cause Garth is here. He comes along every now and then and gives us an iOS review. Now, if we can just capture this properly, I don't know why that's gone over the top of it. Hang on a second. I'll get it ready here. All right. We'll go and see what Garth's up to. This doesn't look... Oh, yeah. 3 minutes. I thought I didn't see the 3. All right. Okay, Garth, what do you got for us this week? G'day. Back again with Garth. And Garth, what do you got for us tonight?
All right. Tonight I've got a way of listening to articles. So you might be using another app we went through before, Feedler, which is one of the RSS feed readers.
Yep.
And so that's a great way you can, go through and you can add things to your read it later, or what now that they call Pocket. So it's one of these readability type of things where it strips all the ads and so forth and saves it for reading later and you can sync it through your browser or.
Yep.
Have you used Read It Later or Pocket? Or
No.
No? Okay. So it's a way of favoriting things that you want to come back and read later.
I don't have a commute.
You don't have a commute? You don't? No. Okay. So you'll be reading through all the RSS feeds, favoriting things with the Read It Later or Pocket service.
She's all right.
Then I open up Lisco and it'll actually just link in with that Pocket account, and all of the stuff that I've saved for reading later, it'll turn to speech. So it'll just play it through it'll just read it all out. So any of the articles that I've liked the look of as I've been going through the feeds and haven't had a chance to read at the time, I've added it to the queue basically.
Nice.
So then you open up Lisco, which is the app we're looking at here, Lisgo. Open up that, tell it to start reading, and it just plays out all the articles for you.
Yeah, so now this isn't a free app.
No.
This is $2.99, but hey, like $2.99. It's what is not cheap?
It's still cheap.
Oh yeah, that's wrong. I say, well, most of the apps, for the amount of work that goes into them, the amount of enjoyment or productivity gains or whatever that you might get from them, like $2.99, it's not even a cup of coffee.
No, that's right.
Like this is the good thing about the apps. Now this is compatible with the iPhone, iPod Touch, requires iOS 4 or later, and so you use this a lot, Garth. You're a fan?
I use it a bit, yeah, because basically what it means, I think it'd be really good for other people who are like driving.
Yep.
And you want to keep up with various news articles or whatever it is.
Right.
I don't know, if you're time poor and you still want to keep up with this sort of stuff, this can be a really handy way. In the same way that Audible is a great way of listening to your audiobooks to get a bit of reading done, this is a great way to get through some of your blogs.
Now, just reading some of the advantages or features of this, it's got here switch between reading and listening. So you can switch from reading to listening anytime with Lisco. So just double tap at the place where you'd like to start listening and Lisco will speak out loud from the part you selected. Do you prefer reading instead of listening when you sit down? When Lisco is reading an article for you, the words will scroll along with the audio.
Yeah.
So you can get back to reading easily.
That's right.
Yeah, so that sounds good. Start playing at any position. Double tap to jump anywhere in the article. Auto scrolling works offline, works in the background, supports remote control, reorder your reading list easily, view the original web page, and adaptable voice speed. Oh, Garth, you'd love that. You like the adaptable voice speeds.
Absolutely.
Listen to stuff in half the time. Yeah. All right, that's a good one. Let's go. Good stuff.
And a little app.
Yeah, so if you want to, you can also watch all of Garth's reviews in their individuality. If you go to the aussietechheads.com.au webpage, and you will see just the video, so you don't have to trawl through the whole Aussie Tech Head show. All right, thanks, Garth. We'll see you again soon.
No.
Nine eyes to you too, Garth. I hope you have a nice night. And Garth is coming in quite regularly doing iOS reviews. Now, that reminds me, as I was watching and listening to that one there, I downloaded an iOS app through the week. It cost me $30. A $30. Wow. Oh no, a $30 app, you say? But hey, it is a good one. It's Angry Birds. No, it's not. It's
Angry Birds box set.
That's right. Hang on. I think it's called. I'll tell you what it's called.
You don't even know what it's called, do you?
I could have a guess, but I just want to get it right. It's called Quick Sale, and it's an invoicing app, and so you can actually you can use it for inventory. Look, I might do a review on it in a week to come, but I'll quickly tell you about it now because it's I look for a while to get an invoicing app because I know you can get stuff like on the internet where you subscribe for $30 a month. The name of that one that is well known escapes me at the moment. The one that Amber Mack and Leo go crazy about. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a subscription based one, and so I didn't want that because it was $25 or $29 a month, So I thought, well, why can't we get something similar just to buy outright? So anyway, this thing looks like it does everything that I need it to do. You can CSV inventory into it. You can export CSV, all this sort of stuff. You can email the invoice. You can even include a PayPal button on the invoice. So it's all good. It's all good. And then to print it out, if you got an airport or something, you can print it out from your iPad. But I just send the invoice to my email. I just jump on and print the PDF out from my Gmail. So it all works good. If I have to do that. Yeah, cool. That's my little app. But I might do a review and do some screenshots and stuff. But I'll tell you what, quite funnily enough, is that YouTube. I'll tell you what I'd like to see, because I was just telling Will before the show. I've been getting these just about every episode that we put up on YouTube. I get the email, you've infringed copyright, blah blah blah, and look, and of late, like I don't think I'm infringing at all. I'm using everything under under a fair use policy. We're doing a review, we're review show, but that doesn't seem to stop these emails coming through, which is a pain in the bum just to respond to, And if you get too many of them, well, then they can, cancel your account, your YouTube account, and go crazy, and and I know what getting cancelled's all about because I was cancelled from the AdSense program, but yeah. So anyway, look, I'd like to see YouTube move to some sort of system where you're actually identified and screened, and therefore your account is just left the hell alone, like. When I'd signed up for PayPal, I think I was telling you last week, I had to send him a birth certificate, the business name registration, passport, copies of all this, for to appease the money laundering laws that Australia has. But why can't we do something and just verify who we are to YouTube and what we do, and then say legally the onus is put back onto us. As the publisher, if something happens, if we do upload content that is outside of the fair use policy or is copyrighted by someone else, I think that's fair. I just think it's a lot of work, and as you said, Will, it's all automated bots going through your videos anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
part of the problem is too, they use the subtitling, like closed captioning. Now, if you've ever watched anything on YouTube with closed captions, you will know how incredibly pathetic it is, given that Google Voice is one of the largest voice services in the world. Their voice recognition, when it comes to Australian accents, is incredibly horrible.
Yeah, you think it'd have learnt by now. But but that's just how it works, I suppose. Have you ever watched a YouTube in 3D? Does that work?
Yeah.
And it works?
Yep.
So you put the little cellophane glasses on? There's
a couple of different ways of doing it. You can watch it in stereoscopic, which is to use the red and the blue cellophane, or the green and the red. Or there's the one where it offsets the two pictures. Just there's two pictures side by side, and you sort of watch them a little bit cross-eyed. Or if you've got the hardware glasses, obviously you can use that. But yeah, it does work. Obviously, you've got to record the video in 3D.
Because I was up at Dreamworld the other day or last week, and they've got the old IMAX theatre there. It's like that big huge screen, and they had a Robin Hood cartoon, 3D Robin Hood cartoon. And it was the cellophane glasses. Do you find that initially at the start that your eyes are straining a bit, like you get a bit of a strain because you must
not
be
with
going
the cellophane. I have trouble with the polarized ones where you get the left eye is horizontally polarized and the right eye is vertically polarized, and the image is played back at 60 frames a second, so 30 left and 30 right. But because they're played one frame apart, I actually found I had eye strain with that, like when I was watching Avatar in 3D.
Yeah, right.
But I overcame that because what I would do is when you're watching a scene where they're inside, for example, and there's no depth of field, you don't need the glasses on because there's no 3D depth there anyway. So when I was watching those scenes, I took the glasses off and watched it. And then when they went outside, where there was much more depth of field, I put the glasses back on, and so it sort of alleviated my eye strain.
Now, was it you that was talking to me the other day that about Leo? Like, we all know who Leo is without going into who he is. That he can't watch 3D movies. He's got some problem.
He's one of, I think it's 12% of the population. It's actually quite a high number who don't have. They have two eyes, obviously, so you still have stereo vision, so you still have your full, field of view, but you don't have the depth perception properly. You have it, like, if you close one eye and try and reach for something, your depth perception's out of whack. It's not that bad. It still works. But when they watch 3D things, their brain doesn't process it to the extent, so... Yeah.
That's insane. So he can't just go out and he can't enjoy his little 3D movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't care. I can. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. All right. All right. So I think does he have a bung eye? I think he might have.
I was just you're talking earlier before we went to Garth about 50 years. How technology has changed basically in 50 years. I've got an old 4-drive. It's called an old G60 Patrol. It's actually nearly 60-year-old. And 50 years ago, it was the first vehicle to cross the Simpson Desert.
What, your car?
Not mine specifically, but the G60 Patrol.
Yeah, right.
And they just this week, they've got back from doing a 50-year anniversary crossing.
Nice.
Using the old G60 Patrol, and they had a Prado and something else tag along, and both those broke down. Right. And the old 55-year-old G60 Patrol just plodded along, made it from one end of Australia to the other.
Wow, kept on keeping on.
So it just goes to show you, they went with a 3-year-old vehicle. Yeah. And, the 50-year-old vehicle made it. No worries.
Nice.
So it just goes to show you that, technology hasn't necessarily changed for the better.
Well, they in the old days, they made things to last, didn't they? Like these days, you just, silly things and simple things. I suppose with technology, nothing simple. But, I got a computer in through the week. I think I was talking about it last week, whenever it was, that it kept turning itself off. And so I've eventually diagnosed that it was the motherboard. So I wanted to replace the motherboard, but you can't find the specific motherboard that takes the chips anymore. Because the chip that was in it was a LGA 1156 style, and all the motherboards these days are 1155 because they're newer. They've moved on, and I know I could have, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't the chip, and I'm pretty sure it was the motherboard. So, but I don't buy motherboards off eBay and all this sort of stuff. So the guy had to buy a CPU and a motherboard. But I thought, just what a waste.
But see, that's a good thing about AMD in some respects. They keep a lot of backwards compatibility. Like the new AM3 socket will actually fit chips that are 8 or 9 year old still. So,
but I'll tell you, I got onto the eBay, and as part of my arsenal now, I bought. I have. It hasn't been opened yet either, because I only got it today. But it's a postcard. There you go. A postcard. You stick that into the motherboard. I don't know. You can. Yep. It's got a digital readout. Oh, there.
Is that the PCIe one?
But it's also for laptops. It's got a USB cable as well.
Oh, cool.
So it does laptops as well through the USB. But look, I'll just I'll show you. I'll get it out.
I wonder how that works.
Who knows, as long as it works. There you go. It's got a little readout there. You plug it into the motherboard there.
I guess gone are the days of listening for the beeps.
Well, this is when you don't get any beeps. This is when, the problems I had. I tried everything on that machine. I even replaced the CMOS battery, which I ordered a couple from India as well. They were like $1 for 10. So I thought, and free postage. So
you should have let me know. I would have sent you a box.
Oh, have you got some?
Yeah.
How much they cost you? $1 for 10?
About 1.50 each.
Yes. Well, that little postcard was only about, I think $2.
Yeah.
Free postage. So I got 3 of them.
That's it.
Yeah, so you might as well stock up. And I did get some. I got some little glue, CPU glue, because I thought, why not? It was like $1 for 10. So why not?
It's always handy
cheap.
to have that, the Arctic
Yeah,
silver.
because it goes hard. Does it go hard pretty fast? Because like the last tube I had went
The
hard.
cheaper ones do. You buy the good ones, like the Arctic Silver, I think it is. It's not supposed to go hard, although it still does, but it takes a couple of years.
Yeah.
Whereas, the cheaper ones, as soon as they heat up, they go hard.
All right, so we're getting to the end of the show. Have you got any more stories, Will?
Quickly, the Nexus 7, which is Google's new toy, basically. It's the 7-inch tab, obviously.
Yep.
It's just been released. It's $199. That's US, so it's probably $4,000 Australian. But it looks really neat. Basically, it's a 7-inch 1280 by 800 display. It's got scratch-resistant, basically Gorilla Glass on the screen. Supposedly lasts, using it pretty heavily, you should get a full day, 8 to 9 hours use out of it. Obviously comes with Jelly Bean, Android 4.1. It's got a quad-core Tegra 3 processor. So it's going to be pretty sweet.
Good, yeah.
Comes with either 8 or 16 gig internal memory.
Yeah.
And obviously all the usual, GPSs and Wi-Fi and everything like that. So that'll be a pretty sweet little thing, especially if it turns out to be fairly cheap. I think it'll be great.
Yeah. Look, I had a look at one of those. That one of those was there last night, and look, I don't know. I like the bigger format. To be honest, I like the size of the iPad, or just the 10-inch, just the bigger format. But that's just me, I suppose.
Yeah, there's also a thing. I guess just it's what you get used to. I guess I've got Sonia hooked on the 7-inch now because she reads ebooks.
Oh yeah.
And it's perfect size fat. Also, I noticed Audi next week, I think it is, or next sale is having. They actually have a 7-inch e-reader for I think it's $59 with a leather case.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad.
So if you just want to read ebooks, it'll probably be perfect for that.
Yeah, I think there's a place for ebooks. I don't know if you could sit looking at an LCD screen for so long.
Oh, Sonia manages. She sits there for hours and reads the thing. She'll go through an entire battery charge.
Yeah, right. Wow.
In one sitting.
Yeah, well, I think because Kim's got a Kobo, and she was telling me that for some reason it doesn't turn itself right off when it's on charge. It puts itself in some screen saving mode, but it's a static screen, and some of you can see some of the pages have actually burnt into the screen. Like, it's really weird.
No, it won't be because it's LCD. Or is that the e-ink?
E-ink stuff.
Yeah, it's just it's like the old calculators.
Yeah.
Where one of the crystals aren't quite resetting properly, and it'll always be on.
Oh yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. It's no big deal.
What? So drop it, you reckon?
No, it'll be fine.
Give it a thing.
One thing I was going to say now that I'm just quickly looking on eBay as I speak, and you can buy cheap Chinese 7-inch tablets for $40-50.
If you want a working one, you got to spend about $100.
No, but I'm thinking I wouldn't suggest one if you want to play Angry Birds or something. But if you just want one to use as an e-reader, I think one of the $50 tablets would be fine. If you're just going to do it as an e-reader, there's probably no point spending a lot of money
I think
on a tablet. It's just going to be wasted.
Yeah, I think, look, I've looked at this Kobo, and it's a lot easier on your eyes. I think if you're going to be sitting there for a long time, you can read them in the sun. It's just
that's the biggest thing. Yeah, you can read them in the sun. But I guess it comes down to what you get used to as well. I think these days, because we're so, even 4 or 5 years ago, I would say the e-inks were much better on the eyes because we're more used to reading newspapers and books. Whereas these days, I mean, virtually everything you do is on a screen now. So I think our eyes have adapted to the point where they're almost used to seeing a backlit screen.
Yeah, probably.
because I don't know. I mean, I find it weird. I can use my tablet, my phone, come home, sit in front of the LCD screen or the plasma, no worries. But as soon as I'm at work and I'm handwriting invoices, I'm like, I have trouble focusing on this bit of paper. I'm like, what's that about?
Yes. So. All right. Well, I think that's going to just about wrap us up. So we've got. I'll put together a little piece of some of the, I don't know, what do you call it, highlights over the 6 years. But just before I do, we got an email last week from a listener that I think has been listening since. Oh, geez, I think it's been early on, since about episode 1, and we were talking about the Wikipedia entry, and that Miko, he was the one who actually did give it a shot and did get it taken down. His email, G'day Glenn, congrats on the big 300. That's on the horizon. A tremendous effort, outstanding dedication. The show has changed a lot. Indeed it has. I tried 3 Aussie Tech Head wiki pages. Yep, back in the early days, they canned every one of them. And a couple of swear words, which I won't say. Anyway, they have run out of money, so karma there. Good stuff, Miko. Yeah, once again, well done. Thanks. Yeah, good on you, Miko. So maybe if you get 5 minutes, try and do another wiki page. I think they're getting desperate. All right. So, so thanks, Will, for joining us on the Big 300. Thanks to everyone that's listened throughout the 6 years and everything like that. Maybe we'll do another 6 years. We'll see what happens. But next week we'll start from 301. So yeah, it's a long time when you sit down and actually think about it. That's a long time. I mean,
you work it out. You average it out. Minimum 3 hours a show. For 300 shows, that's 900 hours minimum. Per. And that if you've got 2 or 3 people, so you're looking, well over 2,000 man hours.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you think about it, that's quite a devotion.
It is, but it's good. It's good fun, and it's come from an audio only podcast into video, and everything going on. So that's been good. It's been good, and thanks to everyone that's listened and made it happen, and thanks to everyone that's ever appeared on the show. And let's try and do another 6 years. So we'll tune up the oscillator or whatever. Oh, can you do it on the? On the Sky?
Give me a sec. I'm working on it. I'm slightly at a disadvantage, but it's okay. Hopefully it should be working.
All right, in a minute. So it's going to go in a sec, so I'll keep talking until it starts. But so look, I've gone through the episodes. Look, I know there's a lot more that I could have put in, and there's probably a lot that should have been left out. But there's a lot more I could have put in. But hopefully I've got a bit of a grab of some things that you might find interesting. So we'll cue the oscillator in a second.
Is it not working? It should be working.
No,
it's supposed to be working. Damn you, Skype!
All right, well we'll just have to.
It tells me it's working. The picture that it tells me that I'm sending to you is working.
No, it's just a nothing picture.
What's a bit bloody useless?
All right. Well, I'm just gonna put a picture of the car up then. There we go. All right. So thanks everyone. We'll see you next week for episode 301.
Welcome to Aussie Tech Heads, podcasting live from the Secret Hub Studios.
Great audio back in those days.
Sit back, relax, and listen for a while. Who knows? You might learn something. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Aussie Tech Heads.
Howdy.
And that's Tech Heads with a T-E-C-H. We are the guys, is Glenn and myself, Mark. Say hello, Glenn.
Hello, everybody.
And Mark, hello, everyone. We're from Retro Reviews. You may have heard us already. We're the first of the 2 of the group of people that will be involved in these podcasts.
Yes, that's correct.
We'll be bringing on more guests as time progresses.
Yes.
Of different age brackets. Glenn and I are pretty much born the same year, so we're, I don't know, what would that make us?
Old. Oh, yeah.
I'm tossing over to you live. Jeff.
Maths is a strong point.
The Apple Mac Club. Yes.
Good on you, Jeff.
Hello listeners, it's Jeffrey here coming to you live from the Gold Coast Macintosh Users Group meeting. We're at All Saints Anglican College here on the sunny Gold Coast.
That's
one
the
of the best places to be in
Vice-Chancellor.
Australia at the moment. Now I'm just going to hand you over to the club president Steve, who's going to give you a quick run through on what's on the agenda for the meeting today.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Well, tonight we're going to be looking at the new iPod Shuffle, tiny little device that holds over 240 songs and has quite stunning audio quality and is so tiny that you can just about stick it onto any garment, T-shirts and business suit, whatever you like. So a fantastic little thing that we'll have a good close look at. We're also going to be looking at iPhoto. We're going to have some quick tips so that we can make the most of this very handy piece of software that comes built in to all the Macs that presently are released. And that should be just the thing for those Christmas pics. We're also going to be looking at ways of posting those pictures that we're collecting presently. So we're looking at some of the online options that are available to us, including Flickr, PhotoBucket, .mac, and a few other places where we can store our digital images. We're also going to be looking at favourite utilities for 2006.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Mark and Glenn, old Sepp here. I'm a little bit upset by one of the comments that was made after my old fella slipped out of my pyjamas. And I have to admit, my wife and I, Glynis, I love her, we decided to get away from it because the barrage of insults that came through the forum really kind of got me a little bit upset. So Glynis and I decided to go to London. And bugger me, we're in London and I'm thinking my old fella's not going to get a mention and I'm going to be fine because when I was in Australia people were saying my old sausage was sticking out and my old fella was sticking out. So no sooner had I been in London, some little bugger came up and threw a sausage at me.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, how are you?
Oh, pretty good, mate. Pretty good. How's yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. And of course,
Excellent.
also in the internets on the Skypes is Reg. Hey, how are you, Reg?
Not bad. Hi, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Pipe Networks. This is about that Sydney to Guam cable,
Yes.
right? It's finally been connected. They're testing it right now.
Because now
It's in the testing phase. Bevan Slattery said today in a statement, we now have staff in Sydney, Guam, Papua New Guinea, Tokyo, San Jose, establishing PRP points of presence and preparing testing of the greater network.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
welcome. Oh, geez, tell you what, time comes around fast, doesn't it? The weeks just roll around. It's episode 163, Aussie Tech Head. And with us tonight, we're going to get straight into it. Wayne, how you going, Wayne?
G'day, Glenn. G'day, everyone. How are we going today?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Hi, lounge. We've got a couple there in the lounge, and also we've got a Google Wave going again this week. If anyone's got the signed up to Google Wave,
What's that? Google what?
I've twittered, so you need to get into Twitter and get the link and join us in the Wave as well. And you can practice your waving skills and all that sort of fun stuff. All right. So it's been a busy week, a lot of heat.
Oh, yeah.
Right, welcome to Aussie Tech Heads, episode 79. I'm your host, Sepp. Unfortunately, no other bugger could make it because they're all getting absolutely off their nut. They've had big cheeseburgers and they're going off to the pub, so they've left me to do the whole bloody show. I'm just letting everybody know that Glynis and I got back together again, and I think the best thing about it is being that my name's McGuinness, as in my surname. We worked out after a couple of shardies that it's Glynis McGuinness, so we're thinking of doing a cartoon character or something in honour of her, and also the fact that we got back together again. Love you, Glinny. Anyway, I'll hang on a second. What's that? Oh, bugger me. They've come back again. Oh, they're probably pissed off their nut. Oh, all right, come on in, you buggers. I'm going off there. Give me a Cheers.
Sit back, relax, and listen for a while. Who knows? You might learn
Whoa, ho, ho. I think we've been stuck in a time warp. What has Sepp done to the intro? My goodness. And welcome everyone to episode 79. This week, very special guest live in the Secret Hub studios, Aussie Tech Head headquarters. We have Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hey, how's it going, Glenn?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. What happened to the intro? Sepp's done something to it.
I don't know. I think Sepp must have
been on a bit of drugs, maybe.
He must have been doing something. But it's good to hear he's got back with Glennis.
Yeah.
But also, Mark's also joining us tonight.
Yes, I think that was actually from Frank.
Yeah, I think what's happened is Frank has sent us in an intro, and Sep's got hold of it, and we said, Sep, don't play it. It's got Daleks in it. Don't play it.
And on top of that, it's actually the intro for The War and Everything Chaser mixed in with Aussie Tech Head. It's a bit trippy.
And talking about getting mixed in and mixed up shows, we've also got Ben on the line. And everyone would know Ben from Tech Wide Australia. And yes, and so everyone's here tonight.
And what's the other one he's from?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
I guest star, I suppose, but yes.
Well, I'm both Glenn and I are from the Mac Zone, so I think that might be what you're thinking of.
This is this podcast central.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah,
Why
it
would
is
you
true.
pay? You know, if people are downloading the latest songs for free on LimeWire and downloading torrents and downloading bloody Wolverine before it comes out at the movies, why the hell are they going to pay for newspapers? Apart from the fact that 90% of them can't even fucking read.
Financial Review.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
But the one thing is the big news. The big news this week. What time is it? It's 56 minutes now. I don't think that's correct. Big news is Glenn's looking for a new co-anchor because Mark, this is his final show. This is Mark's final show of Aussie Tech Head. After 137 episodes, I've had a fantastic time, but this is my final show.
So
if there's anyone out there that wants to jump in...
Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome everyone to episode 230 of Aussie Tech Head. And yes, it's St. Pat's Day, and if I could do an Irish voice accent, I would do one for you, but episode 230, that's about the best I've got, to be sure. That's the best I have. Oh, look, I invite anyone, if you can do better, to please come on and give it a shot. But anyway, yes, welcome. It is Aussie Tech Heads, and we'll just get rid of this music.
Oh, yeah.
1 minute to auto-destruct.
Hello, Aussie Tech Head. Anthony from Logan, formerly from Wellington. Remembering passwords is getting harder and harder. I use Password Safe to store most of my details, but now with so many websites requiring a login, remembering all my passwords is next to impossible. And while Password Safe works really well, as soon as I go to another computer, I don't have access to it. I was using the same password recently, and it got me into some major strife. I'll talk about that on another episode. So, to fix the problem, check out LastPass at lastpass.com. It works in both IE and Firefox and is supported on Windows, Mac and Linux.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here with Deb. Say hello, Deb.
Hello.
What did you just buy?
A toothbrush with toothpick.
Okay, and what song does it play when you're brushing your teeth?
We will.
Okay, for Aussie Tech Head 2nd year anniversary, I'm here with Deb. Say hello, Deb.
Hello.
What did you just buy?
A toothbrush with toothpick.
Okay, and what song does it play when you're brushing your teeth?
We will.
Okay, for Aussie Tech Head 2nd year anniversary, I'm here with Deb. Say hello, Deb.
Hello.
What did you just buy?
A toothbrush with toothpick.
Okay, and what song does it play when you're brushing your teeth?
We will.
Okay, for Aussie Tech Head 2nd year anniversary.
It's a
I'm here with Deb.
loopathon.
Say hello, Deb.
Hello.
What did you just buy?
A
Glenn.
toothbrush with toothpick.
Okay, and what song does it play when you're brushing your teeth?
We will.
Second year. I hate this shit. You do it to me every time. How often do I do it? We hardly ever do it. It's not the point. Happy birthday, Aussie Tech Head. Keep on doing what you do. Yay! Yay!
All right, so there you have it. That's something I just put together this afternoon. So I hope you liked it. All right, so until next week. And a special mention to everyone in the lounge as well. Brad, Chalkster. Oh, Eric's in the lounge. Frosty, Milo, PA, and I hope I've got everyone there. All the regulars that are there. Thanks very much because you're always dedicated every Thursday night. And it's good to see. Good to see. So we'll see you next week. Thanks and bye for now.
Bye.